And this year we have the 70th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. And one of these rights is the right to life. And sometimes we might take this right for granted. But I want to tell you what is happening in my country. Since the implementation of the peace agreement, we have had 295 human rights defenders who have lost their lives. Their voices are no longer with us. And they were simply denied this right, that is 3 words, right to life. They were using all their energy to create a country where we can live in peace. And you're not the only people gone. All of us have had some connection with the conflict. Albeiro Garibello is my best friend from childhood, and he was striving to bring peace to our country. However, in a bombing in Bogota, he became a missing piece of our society. And realizing how many voices have we lost, to start to create a new culture, one where each one of us can contribute to this peace, we realized that everyone needs to be heard. And that's how the campaign Letters for Reconciliation started. We live in a country where we don't talk to one another, and we live in a country where there's no interaction between the different parts in the conflict. So what happened? We brought together FARC ex-combatants and civil society. We thought it's enough. There's need to be a conversation. And what was the best way to do it? We wanted something intimate, we wanted something that was meaningful and something that was thoughtful. So we started with letters. And people wrote letters where they could express their deepest feelings, they could express how they have been affected by the conflict, but they could also send a welcoming message. They could also express how they were also citizens, the ex-combatants. They might have made mistakes in the past, but as well, they were human beings who could have a second chance. So we delivered these letters to the encampments, and what happens really surprises us. One of these letters was from a young girl. What she wrote there was, "My whole family was assassinated in the Santander de Quilishao massacre. I have lived my whole life with hatred inside. I have resentment, I want revenge. But now that I'm writing this letter, I'm able to let go. I'm able to forgive. I'm able to start to think about a new stage where it's not the past what defines me, but it's the future that we can create together." And that was not the only letter. There was this ex-combatant inside his tent, and he looks very threatening because he was sitting right by the side of a rocket launcher. So you can imagine all the power he has to destroy there. And yet the contrast was poetic. He had by his side a letter, and he was crying. And he said, "This is the first time I received a letter in my life. This is the first time someone has shown me some support, and they want me back to society. I'm willing to give up my weapons and learn new skills to contribute to this future of this country." Now, when we heard this, we realized that the conflict is not only happening in the terrain, but sometimes it's happening in our minds and in our hearts. And what we saw with these 3,000 letters being sent, with this campaign led by young people, is that all of us can contribute to create this peace. And all of us can show that we don't have a space for hatred inside our hearts. These welcoming messages were a way to show that we can let go of the past and we can create a new narrative of our future together. So, the message that I want to give you is that you don't need to wait for any government to bring you peace. You can start with your own actions every day, small gestures, to create this peace yourself. It might be just a letter. It might be 3 minutes of your time. But imagine, if you can change the life of one person in 3 minutes, wouldn't you do it? Thank you so much.